to the black sheep researcher. Right guys, I am making this video, and yes, some people may enjoy it, may not get the grasp of why I'm doing it, but I've made a few videos over the years. The last one on this topic called Leylines was in my video that many of might not have looked at. It was the Elohim, the Lords of the Electric. Now in there I did a little bit of the groundwork, so I'm going to include some of that video in this, and in there I'm talking about the etymology of ley line, and the energy locations around the world are known as the vile vortices. Now the reason I'm doing this is I want to ask, and this is not me attacking anyone's research or theories or videos, I'm just having an opinion. I like thinking out loud. I want to think out loud. I want to make a video on it to see and grasp what other people are thinking. And I've been talking about this for weeks in chats and other channels. Who said the ley lines are good? That's what I want to know. Because if everything is a lie, why can't this be a lie? Etymologically, ley line does mean lie. So if they're lying about its intent, what could it be? And I've briefly theorised about this in other videos, or the electric lords that I was talking about. So I'm going to include a lot of that in this, and then just talk and do different things and see what you guys think, because I find it fascinating. Because as a community, it seems like people follow the bigger channels, what they say research, and that has to be taken as fact. This is what it is. I mean, I make a video and it's, what about their video? What about their video? It's like, well, tell them about my video. Tell them about there's a different opinion. We should never accept an opinion on anything, because that's what it is. It's an opinion. It's a different layer. So we have to keep peeling these layers off, and maybe whatever's in the centre is the truth. But again, the truth is not what we are all told. So it's a trap. It's a trap. And that's a little bit that connected to these ley lines. Is it a trap? For what? There we go. So this is going to be intriguing to me. Again, I'm breaking up my signs, book of signs video, but when I get into this mood, I just go with the flow. So again, this is just a little quick chat saying, what if ley lines are not what we've all been led to believe? Because you see so many channels talking about ley lines and how they're for healing and different things, and they're all around the world. Who said they're good? So this is just me doing a what if video and theorising and see where the pieces lay. Right guys, enjoy. What you are seeing here is Brendan the Navigator, otherwise known as Brendan of Clonfert, and in the game you have to go around to megalithic structures and you have to match images on a stele that are painted on the statue in a certain angle, and you basically meditate and earn some energy and point it goes through you. It's like a ley line. Now, during the 6th century, the Irish Celtic monk and sage Brendan of Clonfert encountered numerous standing stones in England, Finland, which is America, and the Isle of Skye, which had been engraved with mysterious symbols from an ancient script. He made writings documenting these findings and left them behind in each location. And what you're coming up here is quickly his voice in the game describing one of these.
Here in the ancient kingdom of Kent, the Jutes have brought me to where his fire burns through traces of the Nephilim. Here the Lord speaks to me again. He warns of betrayals, of struggles, of the trials of the first ones. I do not always understand his message. If he is warning me, it is because he believes I am worthy. He says there is one angel still trapped, she who must be released or joined. Must I find her? The kingdom of Bernicia and Elmet have granted me the right to worship here by edict of Yopa of Bernicia. The Nephilim were the only race with the strength to have moved such pillars, with the power of the Lord behind them. But what were they guarding against? Did you command them, Lord? Was it for the sin of people of other times? Was it to keep the demons out? I am proud the Lord speaks so cleanly through my soul here in Reconset. He talks of his instruments and asks that I be one. It appears the Nephilim were at battle here long ago. Against a great tempest, some few protected us. We must honor these ancient paths. I have explained what he left for us here, to the Reckon dwellers nearby. Blessed be all those who tread in this holy light. I shall inform the local Waffingas that he lives among them through traces of the Nephilim, the giant warriors who fought for God in their ancient time. They have left his presence here on earth for us to absorb his light. The light of angels that have been infused throughout the earth. I feel his power. He calls me my beloved, and I am calmed. I respondeth with my communion, my piety, and become another of his voices.
So a little bit more on this, the fact that I've showed you a few other things that happen in the game, and basically what happens, you go to these sites, you see these images from Brendan, and you have to match them on the standing stones, and you have to go different angles, angels. You'll get what I'm on about if you've watched my latest video with Ryder. I've talked about it before. Anyway, what's interesting to me is this is a little excerpt from my book by Rudolf Koch. It's on signs, and I want to show you the passage first, and then I'm going to show you the signs, and you can see what I'm trying to get at with these symbols. And I'm talking about leylines, evil spirits, the fallen, and whatever you want to describe these entities as, because again, it's just perception. 2 signs used to exorcise evil spirits. In this case of both these signs, as with the pentagram and the octagram, it is worthy of note that they call for a certain dexterity, and that a clumsy person would unable to draw these. I'll draw them, and the signs in question that is in the book are the following. So, as you can see, these signs are from the book, and they are to ward off evil spirits. What they say is to ward off evil spirits. Again, these are found in the book, but if you remember back just a few minutes to the standing stones and some of the patterns, I'm coming up, I'm going to put some of them at the side, and you can just see how lifelike they are. So there you go. On the right is the signs, and on the left is from the book. Again, very light-like. At the bottom where it has 4, there's obviously 6, but the one above is nigh on identical, a little bit larger. But you can see why it intrigued me is if in the game, and again, yes, it is a game, but people like to tell me that they hide things in plain sight, and they love to use games, movies, books, you name it, to show you the message. So why can't this be what I'm trying to get at? The patterns are very nigh on identical. And if we go on a little bit further, I'll actually show you what is said at the pattern to the top right. So let's just go to it, and as you can see, these are again the pattern, and it says, and this is what Brendan says at this site, and that is the image. I have come upon these ancient timbers, tarred for preservation, to mark my sacred symbol and pinpoint the source of their power. Talking about the energy being the spirits in the ley lines. As I pray on your knees, as I pray, the Lord sends through me the voice of the Holy Spirit. It reverberates with the finery of ancient language, and I am in you. Were these timbers carried by the Nephilim, barriers against invasions from afar? Please, Lord, let this truth shineth upon me as bright as your word doth. Brendan of Clonfort, and this is in the game. So those symbols match, and from the book of signs, they said they're warding off evil spirits, and they're appearing on ancient standing stones. Now think about it, they used to paint these symbols. Obviously they might not be, well, some of them are not on stones, and I've always talked about this. Could these standing stones have been what these images are trying to portray, that these symbols, these cymatics, these sound patterns made into a medium, which are sigils, and are put on standing stones because they are focusing the power on those lines. And yes, this is a game, as I'm saying, but it's making perfect sense to me compared to what I've been talking about in the videos of the Lords of the Electric, or the Electric Lords, about energy lines. It's just absolutely like clarity I'm getting on these, and putting some research together from playing old games and finding stuff that intrigues me, and hopefully intrigues you. Because look, Brendan de Clonfort was a real person. Now I don't know if he left these signs for real. I know he did leave etchings, but these people in this game are trying to show you something, and we have to take notice. And they're talking about these ley lines being energy lines of the Nephilim, the Lord's, the Lord's spirit reverberating through me. And what did I say in the old video, the last video? That energy of the Nephilim and cannot die, so they have to be harnessed somewhere, has to be sent somewhere. And I talked about it could be the ley lines, and this is what reminded me of the game, and that's why I'm making this video, just to show you what goes on in this crazy head. See what you guys think. So guys, I love giving you some wows. Some people hate it, I don't know why, but anyway, so it got me thinking about ley lines, and I talked about this in the the actual electric Elohim, the Electric Lords. Could they be lying about it? Could these ley lines be actual prison, the grid to keep the spirit, the energy in and holding it, basically grounded? And obviously I've talked about this on the show I did with Ryder. If you've not saw that, please check it out. So let's have a look at the etymology of a few words. So this is just a generic map with some of the ley lines of England put on it. And I know a lot of people do some videos on ley lines, but I like to look at things a little bit differently. So Lee, or ley, as you can see at the bottom, is Lee. And that got me thinking, Lilu, the fifth element, a supreme being. And they've named it Lilu. So back onto this. So a supposed straight line connecting three or more prehistoric or ancient sites, sometimes regarded as the line of a former track and associated by some with lines of energy and other paranormal phenomena. Origin Ley, 1920s. So that got me thinking. I swear I remember talking about it in a very, very old video, that ley lines actually is related to a lie. And lo and behold, I just put ley in and the etymology, and as you can see, ridge left at the edge of a ploughed field, lay, and then English, obviously that language again, English that I've talked about. Old English, ledge, fallow, recorded in Lachog, ridge left at the edge of the ploughed field, related to lay, and I'll highlight it and I'll zoom in and magnify, lie. A lie line. And as you know, lie means telling something false or portraying something as false. It also means bed, obviously lying. So that's an intriguing connection, obviously, because I've talked about how we die every night and we lie down. Are we contributing to this ley line when we sleep? Who knows? Again, so that is ley lines. Why they're lying? What is the lie? So that got me thinking. We're talking about ley lines, energy harvesting, energy grid, but there's also another type of an electric phenomenon that is mentioned when you research, and here's the map of it. Now some will say there's 12, some will say there's 10, but it's what is known as the Weil vortices. Now they are locations around the world that display a phenomenon that science so-called cannot put into words, and weird as I say, shit happens. Now in a very old post on social media many years ago, some of these enough all of those locations, there is what I call like harp locations, or an energy weapon or frequency at all of these locations that I found, and I posted them on social media. Some of the people that's followed me for a long time will know I did this post. So Weil vortices. So what does Weil vortices actually are? So as I was saying, paranormal regions sometimes are also known as Weil vortices or devil's graveyards, bordered by sides of a triangle whose points are fixed at these three places. Remember, the divinity is shown by the triangle. Also in that video that I've not long done, the triangle was with the VIR for Ohm's law. So what does Weil mean? Why call it Weil vortices? An objective, Weil comparative adjective. So it's extremely unpleasant. He has a vile temper, similar to foul, nasty, unpleasant, bad, disagreeable, horrid, horrible, morally bad, wicked, as vile as rogue as ever lived, archaic or little worth of value. All the feasts that thou hast shared erewhile to mine shall be but vile. From Latin, vilis, of low value. Low value. And these are energy locations, and we've talked about the fallen being grounded to this realm, and they've known that these locations, obviously, that you can see on the map around this realm, weird shit happens. But look at the word vile. It has an EL on the end. So I thought, you know what? Could we not say Viel? V-I-E-L. Vile. Viel. What would that mean? Well, vile, if we split it into two, vi in Latin is the ablative of vis or force. This makes a handy prefix also mean with violence, and you shouldn't run from that meaning. Force. Vi is meaning force, viel, vile, el, something divine, Elohim, the fallen, blah 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 that I've talked about. Basically also the word for a god. Vile means force of God. And on this realm, at 10 or 12 locations, they're known as the Weil vortices. Energy phenomenon. Just wow, just struck it out of the park again, and I get really excited. But remember, one, as I just showed you, paranormal region known as Weil vortices or devil's graveyards. If only someone did another form of devil. What would DEV mean? Wow, borrowed from Sanskrit, God the celestial one, devil the celestial one. But look, if you merge them, like I did with that Devia, look at the word vile, remember? VI. Viz, but also VI. So dev, DEVI, devil, force of the celestial one. Just wow, I'm getting the goosebumps, the tingling. My last video I talked about how these energy lines could be ley lines, and they're there to trap and keep the fallen there. They are grounded, and now I've just shown you devil could be the force of God, the celestial one, the vile vortices. Why call it vile? And all that goes with that. Guys, just wow. I'm going to leave that with you. What can I say to that? So, with what you've just seen and heard about vile vortices and the ley lines, what other name do ley lines go by? Now I'll give you a few seconds. I'll do some funky dancing behind closed doors that you can't see. Some dancing here. I'm not. So come on, what other name? And a little clue you'll see on screen. Yeah, dragon lines. So ley lines, another word that's used around the world for ley lines, is dragon lines. Now when I heard this, I remembered a verse that I've used in other videos. It blew me away, because it's just telling you what I'm telling you in this video about ley lines. We got it all wrong. Now read this out and tell me I'm not right to think how I'm thinking. So this is Revelation 20. And I saw an angel coming down out of heaven, having the key to the abyss. Remember, we're in the cave. Remember, etymology tells you that. And holding in his hand a great chain. Those are the ley lines. He seized the dragon, that ancient serpent who is the devil or Satan, and bound him for 1,000 years. Right there, it's telling you why call them dragon lines all around the world. They bound the dragon to the earth. It's telling you. I'm just blown away when you read things like this, because I'm just theorising, but it makes sense. Again, it doesn't mean it's right. But how many people are telling you about this, this and this, and not giving you another opinion to think on? And that's what pushes me forward. I don't want to accept what major channels and major research is saying. I just want to have another option, and then I can pick. So it's telling you ley lines were called dragon lines. And in the Bible it says that the abyss, and holding in his hand a great chain, he seized the dragon, the ancient serpent who is the devil, and bound him for 1,000 years. Those are the dragon lines. And you think, that's just a verse, Paul. Fair enough, I'll show you another one. Tell me what this means. The Lord said to Satan, where have you come from? Satan answered the Lord, from roaming through the earth and going back and forth in it. Again, wow. So I'm right. Well, the theory's good anyway. It's telling you the dragon is bound to the earth, and those are the ley lines. It's telling you from roaming through the earth and coming back and forth in it. So it's telling you he's roaming in the earth and going through it with the ley lines, the energy lines. It's the energy from the fallen. Now, in an old video, I used a clip from the film The Pope's Exorcist, and I want to include this now because it says something that will blow your mind, so just listen closely.
Per noi invece è una manifesta realtà. 200 angeli caduti, espulsi dal paradiso, trascinati sottoterra. Non è una favola.
So you just saw that little clip from the Pope's Exorcist, and it talks about 200 fallen angels expelled from heaven, driven beneath the soil where God is not welcomed. So God is not welcomed in the earth and the dirt and the soil. And I just showed you the Bible verses. How crazy. I'm lost for words. It means a lot to me that you're giving me time just to listen to what I have shown today, but it's crazy. I already showed you that it talks about the Satan, how it roams through the earth, going back and forth in it. That is bloody Leylines. And then the other verse from Revelation, it's crazy when it talks about how it's been seized by and put in a great chain, and it talks about how they seized the dragon. Well, it's funny that they're called dragon lines, and they're going back and forth through the earth. And this is what I'm talking about. The ley lines etymologically are lie lines. So whether you've been chained down, meaning it's lying, or they're lying about its purpose. I'm just blown away, guys. I really am, and I hope you can see the significance of what I'm putting forward into this video is worthy of your time. So when I make these videos, I have to try and predict what some of you guys at home will think, which is dangerous, because you're like me, you just random thoughts come into you when people say something, and that's just how it is, isn't it? That's how some of us use each other. We learn from each other, and it helps us to expand our consciousness and different things. So I anticipate you guys thinking, you know what, he's talking about the ley lines and how we connect. Now some people will be offended by this and what I will then go on to, but you can't negate for people who get offended by everything. I'm being like a devil's advocate, no pun intended. If you can hear some work in the background, I apologise. But we have to just crack on. So if you think about it, when we all were told to walk barefoot and how the benefits of that. Now that got me thinking, if we're talking about the benefits of walking barefoot on the grounded earth, it's like I was saying before in many videos and even in this, that when something gets grounded, like planes get grounded, they fly, and they're grounded to the ground, they're bound. So it's just like the fallen angels, they were bound, they were grounded to earth. So is this energy that is coursing through this realm, this cave, this chamber, energy from the fallen that's been trapped? They always say absolute power corrupts. I mean, how does it go from bad to good? I just don't know. I mean, how do people go from do evil things? How does possession happen? Is it a gradual process? I mean, you'll get someone saying yes, but some people say no, because there's that much information out there. Nothing is right, nothing is wrong. There's just different parts of the script, different parts of the book, the story. So when people say this and this, we're all just theorising and telling what we've learned from other pieces of information. So I've walked barefoot, I've felt the benefit of that, but is that the power of the mind? Because sometimes we do think too much. Am I thinking too much into this? Probably. But if we're connected to the earth and they're bound in the earth and we're feeling the remnants of that power and it's prolonged, I mean, people can say, I've walked barefoot for 30 years, Paul, and I've not been possessed. Again, I'm just being devil's advocate and thinking, is this connected to it? Is there something that helps you do not get possessed? Is there an alternate current? Is there a direct current from these ley lines? I mean, think about it. You're walking barefoot in this realm. And what is part of the barefoot called? It's called soul. So the thing that's directly connected to the ground that I've showed you, what some people are saying about the ground, about how evil and the devil course through it. I mean, basically the devil meant vital force. So we will on one hand people saying the devil is evil, and then on the other hand people who research and different things and done different looks in different say, well, no, the devil's not meaning evil, it just means this and this and this. So you always get a different perspective. Now, the etymology of the human foot, technically it says the plantar corresponding to the palm of the hand. Again, talking about palm and palm reading. Century dictionary that is from the early 14th century. From Old French, soul. From Vulgar Latin, sola. from Latin soleare, sandal, bottom of the shoe, a flattish from sole and bottom, ground, foundation, lowest point of a thing, hence sole of the foot. But if you remembered from, sorry, I've just moved my chair. If you remembered from the vile vortices and the etymology of vile, meaning lowest part or low value, it just seems everything seems to be connecting to at least raise a point that, yeah, we should look into these things because we take a lot for granted. Why do we take it for granted? Because we're told things, and because we're told things, it's just an opinion and what they believe in. It's crazy. I mean, you think about it in Christianity, what is a symbol for God or Jesus? It's the fish, but the fish also is a sign of the foot, the soul. And what I was reading before in astrology, the sign Pisces rules the feet. In turn, the feet reflect the shape of a fish, a soul. And the fish swims in the ocean, obviously the place of our emotions and our deep subconscious. Pisces is the sign with the most diffused awareness, the sign with the ability to dive into the oneness of it all, the deep ocean of our consciousness. And they're going to talk about how our soul is formless and it's our essence and the core of our being. And it's funny that they named the soul, and it is under an arch. And what if I told you about arches? Who's the god of arches? It just blows me away. And again, some of you guys would have been asking about this. You know what? We've been talking about connecting to the ground. What about people talking about walking barefoot? Is there any connection there? Well, again, how do we define the energy? Like we're saying, is there a direct current that can corrupt, or is it an alternate current, or does it matter the medium, the stone, what we're walking on? Who knows? Again, I just want to ask these questions. I'm not sitting on any side because I've talked about them before. But if I know you guys are going to think about it and talk about it, surely I have to be a good researcher and bring these points up whether I believe it or not. Because that's what I believe in. If I didn't, you guys wouldn't think so highly of me. Now and then it also brings to the serpent and Kundalini. And as you know, Kundalini is the feminine form of Sanskrit, meaning circular or coiled. In yoga, the word applies to the life force that lies like a coiled serpent at the base of the spine and can be sent along the spine to the head through prescribed postures and exercises. And again, you will have people who do Kundalini. You then have people who don't do Kundalini, calling it evil. So it's all about, you know, when I was talking about the energy, is energy pure? What makes energy bad? Is it the medium? Is it what is coursing through it? There's so many things that this video will bring in. And again, I'm not stating any of this is facts. I'm just trying to think out loud and think of other things that you guys at home would be thinking about. And a long time ago, years ago, I made a video and it's well watched. It's got over 150,000 subscribers, and it was called The Giants, All Men of Renown. Now in that I did etymology of serpent, obviously serpent, the dragon, these lines, and I want to play that and put this into it because it's intriguing. Because there's got to be things of how we look at this. Is these ley lines, these dragon lines, actually lines on the earth? Or, because we were so-called made from earth, is it just a metaphor for us? Because in acupuncture, you have certain line locations around this body, certain points, like vile vortices, energy points. Are we the cage, the Tartarus, for the serpent? Hence why all these references to the Kundalini and the serpent that I've talked about many years ago. So could, in fact, we be the walking ley lines? Are we guiding the falls of the fallen ones? These are just things that I've talked about for years, and I'll show you the etymology of serpent, so it shows you just how intriguing it is and how it could reflect. Is it either ley lines on the ground or is it in humans? See what you guys think. So you can see why I'm intrigued, and that is why if you tie it together with the meaning of serpent, let's have a look at that definition again. Sir, meaning to sit, To reside. Was it residing inside us? Tartaros. Proto-Indo-European meaning to protect. To protect something residing inside. Pent means kept in, confined, or to be enclosed. To keep something confined and enclosed and protect it inside. So you just saw that old clip from my old video, The Giants Men of Renown, and you saw the etymology, or the spell etymology as I call it, of the breakdown of serpent. Now, as I was saying in that video, and it was a couple of years ago, maybe 2-3 years ago, now looking at it when I'm doing this video, you could say, as I was mentioning before, about the skeleton. Now, and the human body being Tartarus. Now, you could look at it from you seeing the definition about it being enclosed and trapped. You could think, hey, you know what you were saying about the Leylines, the dragon lines, being a devil's trap, a binding spell, binding the evil to the earth, as the Bible verses talk about. So that's just why I wanted to include that bit, because I found it a little bit relevant, because I was talking back in the day of us being what's keeping the serpent, the evil, trapped in these skeletons. That's why we have a soul energy to power, to overpower it, but we do have moments of weakness. But what if, as I was trying to get at this video, the energy, the darkness is trapped in the ley lines of the earth? So you can see why I'm coming to this conclusion, and why I'm just thinking out loud. So I want to put this to what I've just mentioned briefly about them and the ley lines and things, and the serpent and different things, which it was in an old video, as I was saying. But we've got an image here of what they say Jesus is expelling or exorcising a demon out of a man, expelling him. I just love theorising. I love, hey guys, what do you think of this? And what do you think of that? And oh, I never thought of that, when I hear your replies in the chat or on the comments. So this is just what I love doing, and to be honest, it helps me it keeps me going without, you know, and I don't know how long I can keep going and doing this with the amount of work and stress I've got in the normal life, but this is my mental exercise. But you know, we just keep plodding along. So here we have, like I say, we have Jesus expelling the demon, and it got me to thinking of a verse in Matthew 12:43. And I'm just going to play a part of it. I'm just going to show you a part of it and tell me I'm not on the right lines. And like I said, I'll go through it. So it says, now when the unclean spirit has gone out of man. So he's been exorcised or exorcised, and he's been expelled. It says, it roams through waterless, dry, arid places in search of rest. So it's been expelled out, and it goes straight into the ground. Because that's what it is, waterless, dry, arid places. So I'm right then. Or my perception of what I'm saying is right, because I'm talking about the ley lines could be a place where evil gets put in, you know, like a cave, like a Ghostbusters type of thing. An energy location that attracts certain currents. And I've always talked about direct current and AC current and different things, and how we are walking crystal electric bags, and how our feet absorb anything that we put on them. So think about it. If there was a sinister evil villain out there, and you think, hey, these people can get possessed by my spirits or my unclean spirits through the feet, you know, we'll put people in charge and we'll tell them to wear shoes. It's just a thought. Maybe sometimes I'm thinking out loud and it's wrong, and I'm just putting 2 and 2, but that's just what I love doing. And in here, to me, that's what it says. It says it roams through waterless, dry, arid places, which is the ground. So if it can be banished to the ground, and then it says it does not find rest, and sometimes further on in the verse it says it comes back into the house looking, and it groups up type of thing. If you think about it, so if it can get expelled and it can come back, it's just showing you the importance of this energy ley lines, these dragon lines, to keep these serpents, these unclean spirits, these expelled out of the heavens, these fallen. That's just my thinking. and I don't know what you guys think. So if it can go one way and expel out, it can come back in, and that's just why I put in that bit about absorbing through the figures. It's funny that we have the arches and we have the plantis, or the planter known as the soul. It just gets you thinking, and that's what I just love doing. So you can see where I was going with this video, to show you, hey, there's a different opinion. And when you meet up with people and you talk, or you email and you direct message people, and you're going, oh, are you into Leylines? And you go, yeah, blah blah blah, this and this, and then you go, oh, what about Paul's idea of that? They're there to trap negative energy, or the devil, or Satan's, etc, etc, etc. And so, I never thought that. What else has he said? And you show them these different verses and like this, and you can see I'm not start raving mad. There is some substance to what I'm theorising. See what you think.
Yeah, they call me the black sheep. You know they call me the black sheep.
Hello and welcome to the Black Sheep Researcher. You see it? The little black sheep's there. And there. So welcome guys to new and old. Another video is done. It's put up, and I want to thank you for the love and support. We've just hit 30,000 subscribers. YouTube took 30 off me after that live, and I was like one away from going to 29 again. I'm thinking, yay, I get to make another 30,000 video again, but I got them back again. So thank you to everyone who has subscribed. Please just check that you subscribed. It's unsubscribing everyone. And for if you're new, this is just a section where I call my thoughts, where I go over little bits in the video, see what you get, you know, basically what I'm going through at the minute, and to rant maybe, because this is my outlet. Yay! So, what did you think of that? But first, I forgot. I got all excited. I want to thank everyone, like I said, please hit the like, share and subscribe. It really helps to fight the algors. And if you want to help the channel, people are always asking me, how can we help the channel? Like, share and subscribe. If you want to go a bit more and help the channel out, you can buy me a bar. And what is a bar? It's just I've changed the name from buy me a coffee. So I've got a QR code and I'll fill the screen there. If that's too big, I'll put a little in here, big box, little box, or there. So you can see, you can scan it and it goes straight through. I'll put the link in the description if it doesn't work. Everything helps. I know times are hard, but seriously, it keeps us going, guys. Without your help, we'd be long gone. We really would. And that's you know what I'm saying. So thank you for everyone that's done that. Oh, and will do that. So what did you think of that video? And I really enjoyed it, and I didn't want to put too much in because I want to progress these things, and then I want to put them in different videos and progress the idea. I was making a video on the Book of Signs, and I put out that old video because it didn't work, you know, about the train. People are talking about the energy locations and how Michelle Gibson does videos on the Leylines. I know Michelle Gibson. I've never done a video with her. With Neely, her and Chad. So they do great work on Leylines. But as you know, I've got to go an itchy nose. I swear something's flying around here. Got itchy nose. It's getting warm and my allergies are kicking off. So if it's doing all this, it's not because I'm winking or doing a Masonic sign or anything. I have little pee-pee bad eyes. And obviously I have light sensitivity as well, so I do find it hard, and I do wear different types of glasses, but I'm indoors. So I've got my new ones. You like my new ones? So see, I'm getting distracted. So people were talking about the Leylines obviously in the comments, and I thought, you know what? I've done a lot of videos on Elohim, the Lords of Electric, and different things where I've briefly talked about it. And that just gave me the inspiration. So for that person who did that comment, thank you. It was it inspired me to make this. Hopefully you enjoyed this. This is just a different alternate. And when I always look at things, and we've looked into various videos and various topics, I like to have a backup or a different theory or thought or an idea on any topic. So if you say a topic to me, I'll have a different thought and opinion on what it is. I always have, and I like to have that. In my case, I'm talking to people and I'll say, hey, what about this? And then they'll go, oh yeah, But what if you had that and this, and this is how you progress things in my mind anyway. Good chit chat between friends. So when everyone's talking about ley lines and how their energy. Now, is energy male, female, or is that part of just electric? And is it good or bad, or is it neutral? Is it the wand, these vessels, that define if this energy is good or bad? And when we're talking about ley lines, and I know from obviously years of research that they're called dragon lines. And when you hear verses like this, and I'm reading it off my phone, and I saw an angel coming down out of heaven, having the key to the abyss, and holding in his hand a great chain. He seized the dragon, the ancient serpent, who is the devil or Satan, and bound him for 1,000 years. Is that just a coincidence that these energy locations are called the same as that? Does it mean it's evil? Does it mean it's good, bad, or whatnot? But to me, when I hear I've seized the dragon and I've bound it in chains on the ground, that to me is the bloody ley lines. You can't, that's all I can see on it. Energy lines are the chains of the dragon, the serpent being bound. And that just blew me away. And again, it may be just how we perceive things. People might not see that. And again, like I've said in the video, I don't know if it's good or bad or whatnot, but I'm not scared of asking these questions. You then progress this further and you look at other verses. This one's from Job 1:7. The Lord said to Satan, "Where have you come from?" And Satan asked the adversary. Answered the Lord, "From roaming through the earth and going back and forth." So to me, big box, little box. See, I'm doing some dance moves today. This is dragon lines, ley lines, is it not? It moved. I banged the table. I'll be getting another comment that I banged the table. I get excited, guys. You know, I ain't perfect. I'm just like you, sitting at home, and people like the channel. Don't ask me why, but I just think out loud and I put it into content for you guys to watch. To me, you're putting them both together, the dragon, bound, ley lines, and I'm roaming. The energy is roaming through, back and forth through this earth. Slam dunk. And then when you go to Matthew, and also I just put a snippet in, it does go on a little bit more, and it says, now when Jesus or God expelled or exorcised the demon, it says, now when the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, so there's man gone out of a man, it roams through waterless dry places. Is that not the frigging ground? Is it not? So if it can be banished out, surely it can come back in. But how does it come back in? Why do we have arches? The power of the art, God of arches. Archways are doorways. Are they not? Arches. And you have a soul. Tell me that's not wow. So are they coming through our souls? And is that why the Leylines wear shoes? Think about it. Back in the day, no matter thousands of years, and do many poor people don't wear footwear? And is this a reason why certain locations around this earth have a high crime rate? Because people are poor and may not have shoes, holes in the shoes. Or are they just in locations where the energy is stronger and weak? Because my old videos that I did on 5G, the gift of Hera, I talk about these being cursing towers, and those towers are they put on certain parts of ley lines to destabilize or curse the energy that's running through them. But like now we're talking about, are these locations, these ley lines, a huge devil trap? Like from Supernatural, remember Supernatural episode where the train tracks, made a devil's trap, a huge devil's trap, and it trapped the gateway to hell inside it. And that's what premise I'm talking about. So these locations all around this world, the minerals, is that amplifying or keeping in the power that is. It's just intriguing, isn't it, guys? And these vile vortices, which are energy locations like the Bermuda Triangle and so on, where weird shit happens. Why call it vile? Vile is not nice. Vile is low meaning, low power. But these energy locations are low power there. You can feel them. So if they're calling it low and vile, and another word that you use for these vile vortices, I'm just moving my chair, are the devil's graveyard. What do you put in a graveyard but a body? So these locations, just significant parts on this realm of the dragon. Because like the Cetaphot, they can be made into a body. At these locations, is that whatever's been bound to these locations, like acupuncture points, are they the vile vortices? And when you break devil from the old videos, it meant God the celestial one. Pardon me. Celestial, when I brought that down, meant chambered, buried, crypt. So are we walking in Tartarus? Are we in Tartarus? Are we in the cave where evil was banished? And then you talk about my other old videos. Like I said, I just changed it. I don't hold myself to air theory because I could have a different idea next week and this could be all different. And I don't apologise for it because I keep changing. I keep getting influenced by this information. Is influencing. Remember, I even did a video where it talks about how Demon was genius. Are we being, is information possessing us and influencing how we think? Is it just metaphorical? All these things are okay to ask, because if you don't ask, you never find out, do you? You know, so if you find anyone pretty, always ask them. Always say, you're beautiful. Get a slap. Don't just say, Paul said, Paul, blame Paul for everything. Get pulled over by the police, Paul's fault. So, oh God, I'm mental. So you can see my point where these different locations, and why have all these cities built on locations and set the streets to form different patterns. The cymatics, sigils, binding, warding. It's just very intriguing, and I just get so excited. And again, this is like the platform where I can express myself, and I can express myself to all of you guys because you've had me back, you support the channel, and it makes me emotional that I can do that. And I just hope you can see why I've made this video. I don't make videos to offend anyone. I make videos because I'm bloody intrigued by asking awkward questions sometimes, because I don't want to accept anything, and that's how I created the Black Sheep in the first place. I ask questions in communities, and the people in the so-called led these communities didn't like me saying, hey, you know, talking about flat earth and different things, and communities didn't like me saying, well, the North Star doesn't move. It does move, because I've done time lapses and friends have done time lapses. And then it's been another North Star, funnily enough, Draco constellation. This is why we have a lot of dragon worship and serpent worship, because the North Star was Thuban. So if we don't ask these questions, and a lot of people don't like the answers, I get ridiculed and I got pushed out of the community. It's why you don't see me anywhere. It's why the other day I got a message saying I should research better, and to help me to research. So I've got to thank this person. Thank you for sending me my own video. Yeah, you got that, guys. I got told I'm shit, I'm worthless, and to help me research, I need to watch this video, and it was me. Me? Do you not see it? Lightness? Again, you just have to laugh. But that's why I'm hard to get hold of, because I just don't like the community. I like you guys. who are part of it, I love you guys. You keep me going. You keep me where I want to come back. Because at times I just think, what's the point? You know, and you know, life gets you down. And if we don't have one another and we don't stand up for what we believe is right, and that's the problem. What I believe in right may not be what you believe is right. So you have to have a common ground. You know what I mean? Because how I perceive this realm is not how you perceive it. And our morals, and moral, more, M-O-R, comes from mortis, or mors, which means death. So death of the L's. You know, are the L's, are they the electric that goes through us? Some people talk about how electric is not good for us. It's not our natural energy. So when you then tie it into this being the jurisdiction of the Elohims, you break down Elohim, El, the divine ones, or gods, or people in power, and then the Ohim actually broke down to, in Hebrew, Om, which is a unit of electricity. So they're in the old videos. So when you're asking these questions, why call these locations vile? For one, for a language, it's a spell. Devil's graveyard. Then you throw out them Bible verses where it talks about binding the dragon, the devil, unclean spirits through the earth, coursing through. Those are ley lines. So then what do you get from this? Am I saying all these energy locations are evil? No. I'm just saying what I found. I'll leave it up to you guys because we all have a different perspective. Again, there may be a frequency that may be evil that's running through it. Is it constant? Is it like AC, DC, AC, DC? And how, you know, in my old videos I talk about that. I don't know. I'm just like you guys. I come up with random thoughts and I put them into videos. And I got inspired by a person just saying, hey, do you watch Michelle Gibson, who does a lot of videos on Leylines? And I'm thinking, well, I've talked about Leylines in all videos, and in that I randomly say, are they good? Because lay means to lie. What are they lying? Are they lying about its purpose? Are they lying what it does? Or is it lying? Well, lying is not spelled that way, but it could etymologically and phonetically. So laying, lying. You know, when we set at night, we die. Where's the energy going? Are we feeding the beast, the system? We die every night. Some die. Mum die. And it's not my bad accent. I'm saying Monday. But day was actually etymology from Latin for die. Mum die. Some die. We rise each morning. We basically get resurrected. So are we what was cast out our ancient ancestors? Are we from these evil? And obviously we are the cursed ones, because there's precursor. Precursor means before the curse. But then why would you curse? And that's the main thing that people talk about, curse people who've not done nothing wrong, because supposedly God died for our sins. So you can see the crux of this, the cross, on what is bloody going on. But if you don't ask these awkward questions, and that's why in that video, the Old Men of Renown, I broke down the word serpent, because could it be that the serpent is enclosed in us? But now when I look at it, the serpent, the dragon, is it enclosed in the cave, in the ground? Similar theses, series on that. And that's why I put all these videos in. Because I get mind blown and get excited to see what you guys think of it. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Like I said, I want to keep it quite short because I'm hungry. I'm starving and I want to go into other things, and I've got so much to do anyway. And I was on Dad's taxi service today, but I've already edited this video. I already did it once. The phone was going off, though. I want to be professional. Try to be professional. So what do you guys think? Do you think there's merit to this? It's worthy just talking about? Because again, who's the first one to say it's good? in the community on any topic. Do this, it's good for you. Why? Because it's good for me. Yeah, but what's good for me might not be good for you. But are these locations, like poor locations and places around this realm where high crime rate, is the change, is the energy too overpowering in that location, and it influences people to do crime? Because I'm always under the expression that when we are born, we're birthed. I know they always say there's one bad apple, but majority of people are not bad. It's life. Is it living in these locations? Is it like EMF poisoning? You know, the symptoms of EMF, you know, because it influences. Like I did that video, the 5G, the gift of hearer, and I talked about, are these 5G towers put on Leylines? And in there, I might have even talked about, are they good or bad? So I've always been thinking about this. But then when you combine it with those ideas of the dragon graveyard, and calling it dragon lines, and it's been bound on the earth, surely you've got to think, hey, he's got a point. I may not agree with it, but he has a point. Because who tells you what? I've got itchy nose now. I'm going to lift my top up and just scratch my nose. I'll have to trim my nose. I've got a few hairs in it. I know. So, what do you guys? Do you agree? Do you not? Do you see the validity in what I'm saying? Because I just, like I said, many times, I just like having an idea and seeing where all the chips lie when I throw it. Because everything don't make sense. If it's an energy and locations, why call it vile in a graveyard? You know, it's negative. You know what I mean? But there's too much negativity in this world for me. Not enough positivity, not enough laughter, not enough of love. Well, it's funny that love is evil. It's crazy, isn't it? When we're looking into this realm. And again, the word evil, is it actually good? Who told us it was bad? Again, we're coming from back in the day, indoctrination, when these spells were changed. The Great Vow 12 shift period and different things. We get taught by someone who then tells us what to think and how to progress it. So again, ley lines, bad. Well, why call them lie? Etymology is lie lines. What are you lying about? What is being lied? What is being chained? So you can see why I'm so excited about this. And I do believe that if anyone else did this on a bigger channel, it'd be raved about. But because it's all Lonely Old the Flockers, the Paul, the Black Sheep, it'll get forgotten about. But it won't be, because I've implanted it and I've asked your guys for your help. So if you agree with this, add it to what you talk about to other people. Hey, you into Leylines here? But what if they're not actually good? You know, are the influences? Is a power surge? Who knows? But you know, if unclean spirits are getting cast out and they're looking for going back into the earth, they can come back out. Why call it a soul on an arch? Arch is a doorway. We have so many doorways that things can get in. Mind blown. So guys, please like, share and subscribe. Check that you subscribe, because on YouTube is constantly unsubscribing people. I'll try and get enough notifications out there and to tell you people that this is upcoming. But thank you. Just thank you for giving me your time, listening to me rambling, and my idea that could ley lines be devil traps to bind the negative evil energy. So if you think I have a point, please give it a like. It helps the algorithms. And again, like I always say, if you want to help the channel, you want to be in a bar, the things there or in the description. So take care, stay safe, always wear a smile, and guess what? Get there